Hello and welcome back to Bellefontaine Cemetery and Arboretum series of videos highlighting our self-guided white line tour of the cemetery. My name is Gracie Griffin and I'm the Vice President of Customer Relations at the cemetery and also our green burial specialist. Today's stop along the tour takes us to number 25, Evergreen Meadow, which is Bellefontaine's certified natural burial ground in which every burial is a green burial. Okay, now that you know where you are, let's take a moment to back up and address a question you may be asking yourself. What is green burial? Well, green burial is the return to pre-20th century practices in which an unembalmed body is laid to rest in a biodegradable container, like a linen shroud or wicker casket, or even a simple pine box. It happens to be the most environmentally friendly method of burial, producing a smaller carbon footprint and releasing far fewer toxins into the environment than other modern-day options. It is also the oldest and most traditional form of burial. Cultures around the world have been enshrouding their dead and burying them naturally for thousands of years. In fact, the practice of hiring a professional to care for the dead is largely a modern one. Less than 200 years ago, it was quite common for families to care for the deceased in their own home. Around the time of the Civil War, modern embalming developed in part as a way to bring deceased soldiers home from the battlefield for burial. Over the course of the next century, funeral and burial practices continued to move further away from the hands of the deceased's family, thus establishing the modern death care industry of today. So, back to Evergreen Meadow. Evergreen Meadow had its first green burial in 2015, making it a relatively new area of the cemetery. It is an approximately 3.5-acre area of the cemetery, including 800 plus grave spaces. The meadow is located on a hillside on the northeast side of the cemetery grounds near the Hempstead family lot. Evergreen Meadow is a native Missouri shortgrass prairie, measuring between 3 to 5 feet tall. In it you will find grasses like little bluestem, Virginia wild rye, and side oats grama. The meadow was first established using soil solarization and is now managed with controlled burns every 2 to 3 years. The cemetery is committed to using as little mechanized or chemical intervention in the space as possible. If you have the opportunity to walk the path around the meadow in the spring and summer, I encourage you to close your eyes and listen. You'll hear the space alive with bees buzzing, butterflies fluttering, and a variety of other pollinators who make this natural habitat their home. Though Bellefontaine Cemetery and Arboretum allows green burial in both family lots and single grave areas throughout the cemetery, Evergreen Meadow is special in that you will not find individual markers there. Instead, those laid to rest among the tall grasses can be found with GPS coordinates only. To see Evergreen Meadow in person, I invite you to take your own self-guided tour. Visit us at 4947 West Florissant Avenue and pick up a copy of our White Line Tour brochure, which you can find in the freestanding kiosk just outside of our office door.